Oh well, today you find me down at the farm where we review a lot of the machines for landpowertv.com, and as you might be able to tell, they are doing a little bit of air timing, baling a few idiot bricks. So I thought while they're doing that, I thought I'd join in a little bit. Obviously I'm not lifting anything, so I thought, you know what, we'll have a little play with one of their older tractors, specifically this McCormick MC115. So this particular model then, it's an 07 plate machine. It's got just over 4,500 hours on it. So it's been on this farm with the core family since about, I think it's about 2010, 2011 when they got it. They obviously got it second hand. So as you can see, one of its jobs is baling with this welder, conventional baler, small square baler. It does a little bit of hay every year, and it also goes down to Ormskirk, baling a fair bit of straw down there as well. Other jobs for it also include, and as you might have seen in one of our other videos with the AgRecision on-track guidance system video, it also does a fair bit of fertiliser. Well, it does all the fertiliser spreading on the farm because it's just a handy sized tractor for that, and it does a load of muck spreading as well, particularly throughout the winter. It can often be found on a Fleming rotary spreader, and obviously it gets stuck in with various other tasks and whatever else needs doing, such as pumping slurry around the yard, that kind of thing. When the butt raking using the Merlot telehandler, it's also on rolling duties for that. So like I say, I'm going to have a little drive of this tractor, have a little reminisce, you might say, a bit of a look back at these slightly older tractors that are still going strong. I suppose you might say it's a bit of a retrospective review, a retro review. We'll go with that, sounds quite good actually, I'm having that. I think first thing to kick off is, I think you'll all agree, especially those of you who've had experience with the MC115, it is one of McCormick's little gems actually, and I think it's definitely turning into a future classic. I think, well, it's certainly got potential to be a future classic. I'm not going to go through a history lesson about McCormick. Obviously they took on the Doncaster factory, which was formerly Case IH. I think they started there in, was it about 2000, end of 1999 anyway, sometime around then they took on the factory, and yes, it was a bit rocky those first early days of McCormick taking on that factory and those products that came out of Doncaster. However, I would say since about 2004 the manufacturer really got into its stride and produced some really good models out of that factory, this being one of the MC115 4-cylinder 4.4 litre Perkins on this tractor. But then there was also, I think there was a 6-cylinder, wasn't there? The Power 6, which was a rigid frameless tractor, a structural tractor you could say. So there was also that model, which I think that was a 6.6 litre 6-cylinder machine, which also proved pretty popular. But I think this 115, just, you know, it's handy size, ideal for a lot of variety of jobs. I think it hit the nail on the head for quite a few people, and a lot of people still talk very fondly of it, about it today, including me. Now this tractor then, it's obviously not new, but it is shiny. It had a bit of a refresh last back end, towards the end of 2021. It had a full respray pretty much. It had all the casting work done underneath, all that was redone. The bonnet, the roof, the rear mud guards, pretty much anything that was red got repainted. As many of you have found, that this red paintwork, it was notorious for fading quite badly. So they went right through the tractor, everything was stripped off, it was all tidied up and then sprayed up, but as you can see, the result is very, very smart. It's a credit to them actually, what they did to this tractor. And you know, it's fit for, you know, quite a few more years yet of service on this farm. So let's talk a little bit about the engine then. So as I mentioned, it's that 4.4 litre 4-cylinder Perkins. It's a bit of a feisty motor actually, especially when you compare it to the likes of some of the earlier McCormick 4-cylinders such as the CX, which always felt very flat to me. But then they came out with this and it got the 4.4 litre, because I think it was the 4 litre in the CX, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. So anyway, it's got the 4.4 litre and it just seems a much more lively engine compared to that tractor. It's also a bit of a torquey beast, as we found. So if you've not seen already, go and check out our little video of when we took this tractor and the farm's MX115 to the dyno, to Marshall College's dyno day, and the results speak for themselves. It was just a torquey little beast that just hung on forever and a day. So in the engine department, it's not, it's not found wanting. In fact, we always thought it had a lot more than actually it says it does, than the ticket said it did at the dyno day. We always thought, surely this tractor's been played with at some point in its life, because it just feels so lively. But it hadn't. It's not been tickled with at all. It's just naturally a really feisty tractor and a really grunty, torquey tractor. And it sounds pretty well too. Not sure if you'll be able to hear it today while we're baling, but it does have quite a good bark to it. So, swinging off the engine, we have the 16x16 semi-powershift transmission. For all you, before these came along, for all you KSMX drivers, it's exactly the same as that. I'm sure it's pretty much the same back end, to be honest. But yeah, it's got the 16x16 box. Just a really easy gearbox to get on with. You've got the main lever here, the gear lever here, 4 ranges, first, second, third, fourth, just like that. And then within each range, you've got the power shifts up and down there, so you've got 4 power shifts in each range. And it's just so nice, when you drive some of these modern tractors with semi-power shift boxes and you're forever pressing buttons and trying to get to the gear you want quickly, this always, it always plays me, and it still does to this day, where you just dive into a range and dive into the gear you want. It's dead simple, it's very easy to get on with, as I'm sure many of you know. And then you've got the optional creeper box, big lever back here. I don't know if any of you have fallen into that trap by accidentally hitting that lever and not realising you're in neutral and sat there wondering why you can't go anywhere. So there, you got the creeper lever there, which I think it pretty much doubles the amount of gears on this. Or is it 8 more gears? It could just be 8 more gears you get. Anyway, moving on. So the gears themselves, I mean, as you may remember or may recall,